Hello guys, this is Cam, and once again I am going to be doing another video. This time I'm going to be talking about how the Baltimore Orioles became one of the best teams in baseball, coming from nothing in a 47-win season in 2018 to becoming, like I said, one of the best teams in baseball as of right now, where it stands on July 3rd. They are the second best team in baseball, trailing only behind the Tampa Bay Rays. So, in 2018, they only had 47 wins. It was one of the worst records ever recorded in not only Orioles history, but in American League Baseball history. Now, they decided to change things around by getting three top players that I will be talking about today. I'll be analyzing their careers today, and then I'll also be talking about how the organization as a whole, the attitude within the organization changed. So, they first of all, they focused on a winning culture. They also emphasized on accountability among their players. And the three players that have changed the Baltimore Orioles organization is the catcher, Adley Rutschman, the shortstop, Gunnar Henderson, and also the shortstop in the minor leagues, Jackson Holliday. So first off, in 2018, after the Orioles had a bad season, they decided to spend a little bit of money on they were able to have the first overall pick in the MLB draft, so they decided to spend $733,000 on the catcher out of Oregon State named Adley Rutschman, who has become one of the best players probably in Orioles history. And they did so because they knew they had to start somewhere. And they believed that Rutschman was the answer to that. And next, they decided to the following season, they decided to draft Gunnar Henderson out of Auburn University, and he just showed a lot in the infield and has done a lot with his fielding, and he's been one of the most remarkable infielders that the Orioles have. And lastly, last summer, they decided to draft Jackson Holliday, which was a 17-year-old shortstop out of Stillwater High School in Oklahoma. He was also the son of MLB player Matt Holliday. So Jackson Holliday is in the minor leagues now. He plays for the Aberdeen Ironbirds, which is the high A team for the Baltimore Orioles. So let's just rewind a little bit. So first, they had They drafted Adley Rutschman in 2018. Now, Rutschman's offensive prowess and ability to hit the ball out of the stadium is the reason why they drafted him, because he did this in Oregon State. You know, Oregon State they won the College World Series the year before in 2017, and they saw a lot of this offensive firepower come from Adley Rutschman, and they knew that they had something special in Adley. And he is also not just his ability, not just to hit home runs is what caught their attention. He's able to ignite teammates with his offensive firepower, and how he goes about himself and his teammates in and around the organization. So he's really not just he's an overall team player. He's not just there for himself, but he's there for the organization, and he's there for his teammates. Next, we have Gunnar Henderson, who was drafted, I believe, in 2019. Like I said, out of Auburn University. What caught the Orioles' attention was his smooth fielding skills, his strong arm, his ability to make challenging plays look routine, and his power, his speed, his plate discipline. All of this combined has contributed to the team's success. His performances include clutch hits, stolen bases, and smart base running, which also has led to the Orioles' success. And lastly, Jackson Holliday was drafted last season out of high school, which a lot of players if you are drafted out of high school, you have to be one of the best players in the country, and that is the case with Jackson Holliday. And Holliday was given a $8.1 million contract, signed a $8.1 million contract for one season. And of course, I'm sure the Orioles will extend that contract based on what he's done this season in Aberdeen. And he's only looking to improve. I actually saw a video of him, and he hopes to be. I watched a video of him, and Holliday says that he hopes to be in the league in about 2 seasons, and that's incredibly rare for a player. Yes, we have seen this with Henderson, but it's incredibly rare for a player to be in the major leagues that quickly. So we'll see how everything goes. As of right now, he's already made it to the second level of the minors in less than 3 months of playing baseball. So he's well on his way to being in the majors in no time. So the reason the Orioles drafted him is because he plays shortstop, which is an incredibly challenging position to play in baseball, and his exceptional defensive capability is the main reason why the Orioles drafted him. So we'll see how he does, but that is just a few reasons why the Baltimore Orioles became one of the best teams in baseball, and I'm really excited for the Orioles franchise because they are really showing promise. And yes, they were horrible a couple years back, but like I mentioned, these 3 players only made their team a lot better than it was. So I believe that the Orioles can make a very deep run into the postseason. And maybe if they have the offensive firepower, another player I didn't mention was Anthony Santander, who in the month of June for Baltimore was incredible. He hit 14 home runs for them, and he's a right fielder, so he made amazing diving plays. And I just think with the pieces that they have, Baltimore can make a deep run into the playoffs. And I'm going to go on a whim and say I think they're World Series caliber. I really think so. The American League, the rest of the teams, they have to watch out for Baltimore because they're no team to mess with. They have everything it takes to win a World Series championship. And we'll see what happens. But those are just my thoughts of how the Baltimore Orioles can win the World Series and some analysis of how they got to where they are today. So, thank you.